Welcome back, friends and Planeswalkers, to Episode 6 of Duels of the Planeswalkers. I am Dreyfusano, and today we are going to be facing off against Nissa Revane. Nissa is an elvish noble, nimble, graceful, and cruel. She believes her people to be not just the guardians, but the vindicators of the natural world, and no methods are too severe. Her allies are a vast Sylvan legion. And this time we'll be using the Heart of Worlds deck, which I believe is part of a DLC for this game. So with that being said, let's get started. Try solving a challenge for a change of pace. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I'll keep this hand. Now, I believe these lands look different because they first originated from the unset, which is unglued, unhinged. I think there's one more. I think I'm wrong. I think there's just unglued and unhinged. Those two sets were essentially sets made by Wizards of the Coast of Magic the Gathering, which were essentially just poking fun at its own game. The cards had like incredibly silly concepts, but at the same time had these land cards that didn't look like they came from that set. So essentially, this deck that I'm playing with here is called the Landfall deck, which revolves around simply placing lands down. So I'll show you here, got the Step Links, which starts out as a 0/1, but gets a 2/2 every time I drop a land. And then this Fledgling Griffin, which gets flying every time that I drop a land. And hopefully this will be all the intensity I'm going to need in order to keep Nissa's forces in check. Let's see here. This one just gets vigilance. Eye Blight's ending. Boo. One thing I'm going to mention is that as I've been trying to edit these decks, the main base decks are uneditable, and I can't withdraw cards from them. That'll change when I get into 2012, 2013, and 2014. It just makes the game a little bit more difficult because the sideboard, I can only add cards from the sideboard in. Because Nissa really doesn't have any artifacts, so naturalizes aren't going to do me much good against her. And I figured she would. Bears. At least my angel and cat didn't sound like a moo cow. If I was playing with a Jace deck, this would probably be a problem for me, seeing as how I'm not playing with a Jace deck. That's basically just a 1-1 for me. Usually I have a tendency to play the land first and then play the creatures, but I think it's probably a good idea to play creatures first and then the lands, like I just did. Five damage remaining. Nissa is holding her own with just a handful of creatures. What do we have here? Nimbus Wings. Pretty basic enchantment. Let's give it to the Baloth. Baloth has wings! And there we have it, friends and Planeswalkers. That was episode 6. Stay tuned next time for episode 7, when we get into the revenge portion.